parking.
What's up?
Oh my god, I'm actually gonna be on the vlog.
You finally made it on the vlog. I think it's been like since like the pre-episode 1 video. Wait, can you just like put your face against it again?
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
I seriously thought that I was gonna be famous because of this vlog, and I literally have only been on 1 episode.
Seriously. This is Kevin. He makes weird jokes.
Weird
Don't
jokes.
mind him.
Mostly about like dicks and a
Alright, let's go.
Look.
Great parking, Jessica. This makes it even better.
I missed.
What's up, guys? So, realized I never really said anything to the camera yet. We just went to Sunset GT in West Hollywood. Coolest car show of the month, in my opinion. We saw like 3 Koenigseggs, 2 P1 GTRs. You guys saw the footage. Hopefully that edit came out super sick. Shout out to Francis for killing the edits all the time. Ran into Graham Stephan. Definitely check out his YouTube if you don't know who he is. One of my favorite YouTubers. Such a humble, good dude. Really excited to see his growth. He's way bigger. He's at like 85,000 subscribers or something now. So he's just killing it. Real estate guy, super smart. Definitely check him out. We chatted for like 30 minutes, so it's cool to run into him. And yeah, I've got a really busy day today. It's Sunday, but I scheduled myself out to do quite a lot, so not really feeling very Sunday, but in grind mode for a couple months here as I work on some new projects and stuff. So, you know, like I said before, is like sometimes I'm working harder, sometimes I'm working less, and right now is definitely an on time. So yeah, just hanging in through that. So I'm about to head to Playa del Rey, meeting up with Paul. We are doing some filming at a sort of like studio room at this co-working space that we're renting out to use for filming. So that should be cool. Try to get some behind the scenes and show what's up with that. Alright, geez, we just got finished with like 4 hours of freaking filming and me messing up speaking to the camera, basically.
Just enough.
A lot of that. There was a good amount of that. Of course, I'm referencing the semi-secret project that about 90% of you already know what I'm talking about. So, you know, that's what we're working on. So, yeah, solid, busy day.
Are you gonna show me new office space?
Oh yeah, well, I showed this room for a second, but this is the creative lab at Control Collective, which is a co-working space that I just signed up for. So we're using it for filming, and yeah, maybe we can do a quick little lap around or something. I'll sneak in some B-roll. So I want to talk a bit about brand and what that really means to me in the context of e-commerce, physical products, and Amazon.com. So for those of you that don't know, I talk a lot about branding and product line being better than just going from random opportunity to random opportunity, because with that, maybe you get a win really quick, but then it just dives and goes to zero. You have no real consistency. Whereas if you have multiple products and a brand and a product line, now you have something that is more well-rounded, protectable, and you actually own something real. But what am I really talking about with a brand? I think that a lot of people are unclear about this, especially those of you that are just starting out on the Amazon idea, and maybe you're looking at a first product, but you're not yet thinking about actually owning a real brand, a real product company. So I think that a good way to put this into perspective is to, before you sort of figure out this brand thing, which is kind of this like unclear sort of made up thing, you first need to understand product line. And even before that, first you need to realize what we're talking about here is private label and making up your own name. So that just comes down to creativity. You need to create something out of nothing, which is coincidentally, I think, the actual definition of being an entrepreneur is creating something that wasn't there before. So, you find a product, but you put a spin on it in some way, and you create a name, you create maybe a logo at the very least, and you make that product yours. So that's sort of tier one. Next tier in my eyes is, how does this grow into a product line? What else would the same customer be interested in? What complements this product? What else is in the same just category? Like, what makes sense as a complement to this product? So before you necessarily figure out brand, you can figure out what other products can I serve to the same customer. And that can lead you into figuring out brand. What I'm really talking about brand is like, take the obvious examples: Nike, Adidas, Apple, like stuff like that. They've built something that's bigger than just like, oh, we sell shoes, or we sell, Starbucks doesn't just sell coffee. Like, they have a whole brand. So rather than just being like, oh, I sell phone cases, which is a terrible example, by the way, be like, we sell the most rugged phone cases that can go underwater and allow you to go on your craziest adventures. Like, that gets into what I'm talking about with brand. It's not just like, oh, we sell camera stuff. It's like, no, we create the best equipment that will last for generations, and you will be vlogging with this stuff in the year 2050. Like, I mean, these are silly made up examples, but that is tapping into what I'm getting at, is that your brand should stand for something bigger than just being like, hey, we have stuff that we're trying to sell you. That's not a brand. A brand has a bigger meaning, perhaps a mission. Doesn't necessarily have to be like, oh, we're gonna save the world and go to Mars. It could just be like, we want to provide the absolute best coffee related, I always use that example, the best coffee in the world. We're revolutionizing coffee, or we're doing the hipster brand of coffee that is, sourced the cleanest in the world under the most fair and safe conditions possible. Or it's the coffee brand that is for like, take like, what's the example? It's like Black Rifle Coffee, something like that. Like, they literally are selling to like, I believe, veterans. I'm not super familiar with it, but they've taken something like coffee and they've found a specific market for it, and they're marketing it to those people in a very specific way that appeals to those people. It's not just like, hey, we got coffee. It's like, no, this is coffee for people like you. And that really speaks to people. And then now they're not even a coffee company. They're more like they have a market. So now they could go and sell other products that same market would be interested in, and they are ultimately moving towards a vision where they sort of have like an agreement with the customer. Like, they're about the same thing, like they're on the same sort of trajectory in their life. And I think just having that in your recipe for creating products will make you more successful. I promise you that. Even if you're not the next Nike, which, I mean, honestly, none of us will be, sprinkling some of that into your recipe is gonna set you way apart. It's going to allow you to create a real product that cuts through, and that is ultimately what you need to be successful in the current e-commerce landscape. All right, guys, if you made it that far, hit subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell as well. I'm gonna start doing a lot more live streams. I've been slacking on that for the past few weeks. Make sure you hit it, so then you'll be notified. You'll get a notification when I go live, so you can pop in and ask all your questions right there live. And yeah, I hope you liked today's video. Yeah, that's all I got for you. So see you in the next one.